Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Now that we've got the whole day covered, let's get started. Welcome back to Worlds Within, where we explore how culture and cultural differences creep into every aspect of life. As always, I'm your dazzling host, Olivia Turan, and today's guest is Joana Cavaco, an absolute powerhouse. She's been to Brussels to talk to the European Parliament on behalf of the Jewish anti-Zionist organization Erev, studied global studies at the University of Leiden, speaks 5 languages, and is currently getting a master's in gender studies. Seems like there's nothing Joana can't do, so let's hear from her.
Hello, Olivia. Thank you so much for having me in this wonderful podcast. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm really excited to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you want the listeners to know?
You gave me a really good introduction, so I'll just piggyback from there. My name is Joana. My pronouns are she, her. I am a Portuguese community builder, living in the Netherlands now for the past 7 years. It's been a while. My area of expertise is really in the buildup of safer spaces, be that movements, be that within NGOs, be that within cultural institutions, spaces of dialogue, spaces of conversation. And most importantly, I think what I really want to bring out of people is feelings of empowerment, confidence, so that they can live their best, happy lives.
I think that sounds amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, can you tell our audience a bit more about the communities that you're active in?
Absolutely. So I actually started in Rotterdam being very active in the feminist community. I was organizing the Slut Walk, and I had a cultural grassroots project called Contra Rotterdam that was focused on the cross between art and activism, activistic art, as you could call it. And that was when I was still was studying. I was really organizing within grassroots. Then we have Black Lives Matter, and that was also a big change for me as I met my good friend Naomi Peter and started working with her in building up Black Pride NL, which was my absolute honor to be involved in that particular project. And then I started working for Stichting Humanitas as coordinator of the Hangout 010, and that is a safer space in Rotterdam for queer young people so that they can have fun, so that they can get educated, so that they can get resilient and go out there in this world and bring about positive change within themselves and others.
Yeah, communities are just so important. Well, can you describe what you do within the communities a bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. More specifically, I am somebody whose specialty really is to go through particular processes. So let's say that you as an NGO, you don't feel like you have the feminist environment in your workplace and you want to start that conversation. You don't want to have a training. You don't want to do something too much in people's faces yet. You just want to have a talk, and you bring me in and I create a space in which people are free to express themselves. There is accountability. So if somebody says something wrong or not okay, that we can discuss that in a neutral way. And most importantly, spaces of change where ultimately there will be a positive impact for having that conversation. Sometimes it's not immediately after you have those conversations because people need time to digest, but ultimately intersectional changes for the better. And I really believe it is the future.
That does sound really good. When you are working in the minority community spaces, such as Erev or the Hangout 010, what do you do to include different people from all around the world? How do you make sure everybody feels included?
Well, that's a really great question. And I don't think I've ever was able to create the perfect space where everybody felt included. It really depends on the type of intention that you yourself are bringing into the space. I think the bottom line is what I was saying before. To have a culture of accountability. One can never guarantee a safe space. You can never control others. So
obviously,
people might just say something even when you have the best intentions that hurt others. And what we can do as space makers and facilitators is just to not gloss over it and to just really talk about it and take accountability. We sit down and we decide, okay, what went wrong? And are you open to work on it? And can we actually work on it?
All right, then we're getting to our last question already. What kind of effort do you think that the individuals in the community spaces need to put in so that the people from different cultures can get along well together?
I'm thinking about a quote by Dorothy Day, and she said, everybody wants a revolution, but nobody wants to do the dishes. Go do the dishes. Let's all do the dishes and not just let women do the dishes and queer people and people that normally would do those jobs. Let's all take collective responsibility.
I would love to keep talking to you for hours because I know we definitely can, but we do have to wrap up the podcast.
It was a pleasure to be here, Olivia.
Thank you so much. And a big thank you to the audience listening to Worlds Within. Thank you so much, everybody.